The next natural calamity is volcanoes. Volcanoes. Along with the earthquake, we already learned something about volcanic eruption over the hot liquid that comes out from the interior of the earth, the steam, the fire, the lava or hot magma we can say. That is volcano or volcanic eruption. It mostly occurs at the surface of the earth. A volcano is an opening in the planet's surface which allows hot molten rock, ash and gases to escape from below the surface. Yes, it's an opening in the surface of the earth where the hot magma is coming out. The name volcano originates from the name Vulcan. It originates from the name Vulcan, V-U-L-C-A-N, Vulcan, a god of fire in Roman mythology. According to the Roman belief, the name, this volcano comes from Vulcan, a god of fire, they say, god of fire. God of fire. Then volcanoes are like giant safety valves that release the pressure that builds up inside the earth. It's a big safety valve that release the pressure. Because of high pressure, this hot magma liquid comes out of the interior of the earth, and the Hawaii Islands were formed by 5 volcanoes. How the Hawaii Islands formed? The Hawaii Islands formed because of this volcanoes. It is formed by 5 volcanoes. These islands are formed by 5 volcanoes. Yes, Hawaii Islands formed because of 5 volcanoes. Classified by the extent of their activity. Volcanoes are of 4 types. The extent of their activity means how much the intensity of that volcano. There are 4 types of volcanoes. An active volcano is one that erupts regularly. Active volcano. Volcano is active sometimes, or active volcano means that can erupt, eject regularly, frequently, one after the other. Volcano active, that is active because it's called active. It is it erupts frequently or regularly. There are about 500 non-active volcanoes on earth, not counting those that lie beneath the sea. Under the sea they are not counting. Other than that, 500 active volcanoes till now on the earth. A volcanic eruption occurs when hot rocks and lava burst from a volcano, and geysers and springs are actually just volcanoes that throw boiling water high in the air. So volcanic eruption occurs when it happens when hot rock or hot lava comes out from the interior of the earth. Geysers and springs means they are result from the interaction of the groundwater with the magma. That is actually geysers and springs, hot springs. They are actually just volcanoes throwing boiling water high in the air. They are caused by volcanic heat warming trapped under groundwater. Because of the volcanic heat, this is happening. A result from the interaction of the groundwater with magma, this is happening actually. The liquid rocks inside the volcano are called magma. The liquid rocks inside the volcano. Liquid rocks inside the volcano. It is inside volcano. It is actually magma. It is called as magma. The liquid rocks inside the volcano. It is called magma. And when it flows out, it is called as lava. So when it comes out, it is called as lava, the hot liquid. When it comes out, it is lava. Fresh lava has temperatures from 700 degrees centigrade to 1000 degrees centigrade. That much hot it is, heat, and glows red hot to white hot as it flows. When it flows from red to white. That is the temperature degree. The most dangerous volcanic eruption recorded is the eruption of Mount St. Helens in Washington. This is the most dangerous volcanic eruption happened. It is the eruption of Mount St. Helen. Mount St. Helen. This is the most dangerous volcanic eruption recorded. That is the eruption of this volcano, that is Mount St. Helens in Washington. In America it happened. That is the most dangerous volcanic eruption that has been recorded ever. The tallest volcano in the world is Ojos del Salado. That is the tallest volcano. Ojos del Salado. This is the tallest volcano in the world, which is that Ojos del Salado, a volcano in Chile. The world's largest volcano is, this is tallest one, this is the tallest volcano, and the world largest volcano is the Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Yes, Hawaii Islands are formed because of 5 volcanoes. So there is the world largest volcano, it is Mauna Loa. Volcanoes are generally concentrated on the edge of continents, along the island chain, or beneath the sea, under the sea, forming long mountain ranges. Volcanoes are generally, we can see on the edge of the continents, on the land masses, along the island chain, along the islands, under the sea, forming long mountain ranges. A major part of the world's active volcanoes above sea level encircle the Pacific Ocean, forming the Ring of Fire. The major part of the world's active volcano we can see in the Pacific Ocean, called Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire. That is in the Pacific Ocean. The major active volcanoes we can see here in the Pacific Ocean. It is called Ring of Fire. Volcanoes can have serious effects on the lands and people around them when they erupt, when they eject. What happens? It causes serious effect to the people, those who are staying in that area, and also to the land. The destruction they leave in the wake accounts for the total annihilation, means total destruction of the surrounding landscape, the large area of land. It gets restricted, destruction happens to the land and the people where the volcano erupts. Around 2 lakh people have lost their lives to volcanic eruptions in the past 500 years. In the past 500 years, if we see, around 2 lakh people have lost their lives because of this volcanic eruption. Because of the volcanic eruption, active volcano erupted, ejected, that particular land, the area will get affected, people get affected a lot, and many people died because of this volcanic eruption. Because that ash, the fire, that steam comes out is so poisonous, so so hot, it makes the lot of destruction to the land and the human beings' life. Buildings are destroyed, people are rendered homeless. Yes, buildings get destroyed, people become homeless, people are killed, plants and animal life are both destroyed, and poisonous gases that emanate, means that flow from the volcanoes, can cause death and diseases like pneumonia in the people who survive it. The people, those who survive from this volcanic eruption, they even get in this disease called pneumonia. Yes, so means that is a disease that affecting the lungs, lungs. So pneumonia is, they are getting, the people, those who are survived from that. So because of this volcanic eruption, buildings are getting destructed, plants and animal life are getting destroyed, poisonous gas is emitting from that, it killed many people. Then however, not everything associated with the volcanoes is negative. Yes, even if volcanic eruption is causing lot of damage, but it is everything associated with this volcano, it is volcanic eruption, it's not negative, some positive side also there. The crust of the earth exists due to the large volumes of magma. I told you the outer layer of the earth is made up of crust, and it exists because of the large volumes of magma that did not erupt. There are some volcanoes that did not erupt at all, they did not eject at all. There are 4 types of volcano: active volcano which erupts regularly, some dormant volcano which is not that active, it is expected to erupt. Extinct volcanoes are there that no longer erupt. So the crust of the volcano are made up of those kind, that did not erupt, but instead cooled below the surface. They cool itself below the surface. It results in rich soil, which is good for cultivation. Because of this, what happens? Soil has become so rich, which is good for cultivation. The volcanic ash that blows out of the volcano increases soil fertility by adding nutrients to the soil. The volcanic ash, the ash that comes out, actually it is good for the soil, which increases the fertility of the soil, or which add nutrients to the soil, which is helpful for growing the crops. Then groundwater heated by magma can be tapped for general geothermal energy. We can tap, or we can make use of this groundwater for geothermal energy. The energy that, or the heat, comes from the inside earth, that is geothermal energy. We can use as an alternative source of energy. It's a fuel that we can use for heating, cooking, bathing and all. Yes, so most of the metallic minerals like copper, gold, silver, lead and zinc are mined from the magmas. Okay, most of these minerals, copper, gold, silver, they are mined from this magma. Magma means from deep drilling under the interior of the earth, from the rock. When mining means drilling the earth, going deep inside the earth, we are getting this magma, we get this minerals. So they are made up of, they mined from this magma found deep within the roots of the extinct volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes are volcanoes that never erupt at all. Volcanoes that not erupted. They cut off the supply from this magma, we say they never erupt, that is extinct volcanoes. So these minerals are copper, gold, silver and all, zinc. They are mined from this magmas that found deep inside the earth from the extinct volcano that never erupt. That volcano never cause any damage. So instead there are some positive side for this volcanic eruption, that means it add nutrients to the soil, which is good for the cultivation of crops. And this groundwater heated by magma, we can tap it, or we can make use of it for geothermal energy. The heat comes from the inside earth, that is geothermal energy. We can use it as an alternative source of energy, which can be used for cooking. This energy or this heat we can use for cooking, bathing, heating and all. And some minerals, they are made up from this magma, which found deep within the roots of extinct volcanoes. Yes, so that's about volcanoes. It is actually it's an opening on the planet's surface, which allows the hot molten or magma that comes out escape from the earth's surface to the earth's surface. So volcano is originated from the word Vulcan, that means a god of fire according to the Roman belief, Roman mythology. And volcanoes, it's classified into many types. Active volcanoes are active, they erupt regularly, and this volcano that erupt, which cause many huge destruction to the serious effects on the lands and people around them, and it killed many people, plants, animals. Then buildings get destroyed. Poisonous gas that flow from that, which cause many death and also diseases like pneumonia, those who have survived. And the tallest volcano, it is Ojos del Salado. It is the tallest volcano, and the most dangerous volcano eruption recorded is the eruption of Mount St. Helens in Washington. Tallest volcano in the world is Ojos del Salado, a volcano in Chile, Chile. Then the world's largest volcano is Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Actually, Hawaii Islands are formed because of the 5 volcanoes. Yes, so, and it always generated at the edge of the continents, along the island chain and under the sea, and forming long mountain ranges. And major part of this world active volcano, it happens in the Pacific Ocean. It is called the Ring of Fire. But the not so much of negatives are there. At the same time, we have some positive side for this volcanoes. Volcano ash that comes out, it really increase the fertility of the soil, it add nutrients to the soil, and this groundwater that is heated by magma, we can make use of it for geothermal energy. The heat that comes from the inside the earth, we can use it for cooking, heating, bathing and all. And the minerals like copper, gold, silver, they are mined from the magma which found deep inside the earth in the extinct volcanoes. So there are some positive side also for this volcanic ash. Yes. So that's the lesson. So we were learning about the natural calamities. Yes, the calamities that occurs because of the natural factors, the emergencies that caused by natural factors, they are called natural calamities. The events that cause huge destruction to the life and property of human beings that occur very suddenly or immediately, they are natural calamities or disasters. So we learned about earthquake, we learned about floods, then tsunamis, droughts, volcanoes. So these are the natural calamities and disasters we learned about. The first natural calamity we learned about is about the earthquake, isn't it? Yes, earthquake. It's actually the shaking of Earth's surface, isn't it? Shaking of Earth's surface. Some earthquakes are mild, cannot be felt, but some are very strong that cause extensive damage, destruction to the human life and property. Yes, so Earth, actually the Earth is made up of the 3 layers, and the outermost layer is crust, and it is made up of some rocks or some plates. We say it is always in constant motion, moving. Sometimes what happens, the movement gets stuck, or when the pressure is more, what happens? When the pressure is more, this movement, what happens? This rocks get break and they release more energy. At this time, it causes earthquake, shaking of earth. So this happens, the earthquake actually, and through this volcanic eruption also, the steam under the earth, what happens that time, it comes an easy way, got an easy way to comes out through a volcano actually. So the land which is full of volcanoes is frequently this crowded by this earthquakes, and from inside the earth it is hot liquid, and when it gets water from the sea, when it passes through this crack, when the out surface get break, when water from the sea, when it goes through this crack, it happens to mix with the hot liquid and the steam comes out. That is actually the magma or hot lava we say, and the destruction, a great destruction happens to this because of this earthquake to the human life and property. As I said to you earlier, huge large buildings get collapsed or it falls down, the strong trees get uprooted, things are tossed, human beings, they cannot be sit or stand, or they cannot lie down, and rivers dry up, mountains sink down, water in the ponds and lakes, they flows elsewhere. So many large buildings, palaces, water with the strong walls and towers also gets break down, yes, and breaks into pieces. So that much of heavy destruction happens for the earthquake. And in India, here in Maharashtra, 1993, there was a terrible earthquake happened in Latur district. That district was completely damaged. Then some scientific developments are they are trying to find a solution to this problem. And seismograph is an instrument that used to detect the earthquake, and the people those who are studying about this earthquake are seismographers. Then we learned about floods. Because of heavy rainfall, floods are happening, overflowing of rivers, and the main 3 factors of floods are cloud burst, monsoon depression and tropical cyclones. And because of floods, what is happening? Heavy floods, heavy rainfall, it washes away all the soil nutrients, and so sometimes this is helpful to some countries like River Nile in Egypt, but it is not in the case of India and China. The cloud burst means heavy rainfall than the normal rainfall. So the depressions occur mainly in Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Then however, the construction of dams on almost all the rivers. Actually, we can measure the floods, intensity of floods can be checked, and also the interlinking of rivers, it would solve the problem. Then cyclones are more dangerous, means they are actually the heavy winds, the high speed winds. It flows in any direction, and the most worst cyclone that hit India is Odisha super cyclone, and it took away thousands, 10,000s, only millions of lives. Yes, and next we learned about the huge sea waves, that is tsunami. They are actually the huge sea waves caused by the earth as a result of earthquake or volcanic eruption under the sea. These huge sea waves that travels with high speed, and the recent tsunamis happened were is 2011 in Japan and 2004 in India. It created a widespread destruction to the places like Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India and Hong Kong. And next we learned about drought. Because of no rainfall or little rainfall, this condition occurs. It also causes damage to soil, crops and all. Life of people becomes difficult when there is no water. And now the methods, they are finding better methods to improve agriculture to avoid this drought condition, and constructing dams and checking that. Then ICRISAT, International Crop Research Institute of Semi-Arid Crops, ICRISAT, which is established at Hyderabad, they are providing a big service to this in this direction, so that we can avoid the drought in many areas. So nature is our real master. We have to protect, we have to safeguard the environment which we live. We have to conserve the soil. We have to protect the nature instead of destroying and polluting it. It's our duty to do that. Then volcano we learned. It's an opening in the planet's surface which allows the hot molten rock that comes out to the surface. And volcano, there are many types. Active volcano that erupts frequently or regularly, that is active volcano. And there are dormant volcano that happens to erupt at any time. Extinct volcanoes are no longer, they erupt. So volcanoes also, it cause serious effects on the human life, plant life, animal life also, and buildings get destroyed, people become homeless, etc. But not everything associated with volcano is negative. There are few positive side also. Volcanic ash that comes out, blows out, it increases the fertility of the soil, and even the groundwater can make use of geothermal energy, and the minerals, metallic minerals like copper, gold, silver can mined from the magmas, means from which found the deep inside the earth or in the extinct volcanoes. So that is about volcanoes. Then time to recall. Natural calamities are disasters caused by natural forces. Because of some natural factors, natural calamities are happening like earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, etc. Earthquake is a terrible kind of natural calamity. It's so terrible. It creates destruction, widespread destruction. The interior of the earth is full of hot liquid. Inside the earth, interior of the earth is made up of full of hot liquid. Earthquakes are not new to the world. Yes, we have often faced earthquakes, especially people in Japan. Then that's why they are making the house with thick cardboard or paper boards, because they often facing these earthquakes. Floods are caused by three factors: cloudburst, monsoon depression and tropical cyclones. Seismograph is an instrument used to detect an earthquake. Is to measure an earthquake. We have an instrument called seismograph. People, those who are studying about this earthquake, they are seismographers. The tallest volcano in the world is the Ojos del Salado. This is the tallest volcano in the world, and the most dangerous volcanic eruption is recorded as eruption of Mount St. Helens in Washington. The world's largest volcano is Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Hawaii Islands are formed because of 5 volcanoes. Yes, so we have completed the lesson, children. Now it's the time for you to read the lesson. So try to read the lesson as many times as possible. read about the natural calamities, about the earthquake, its cause, floods, its reasons, its factors, then tsunamis, droughts, volcanoes. Read about these natural calamities. Okay.